Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, how is it going? I hope you are in a great condition. Well everyone, do you want to know the hottest news today in Indonesia? Actually, it's like the latest news update in Indonesia. And yeah, the Borobudur Temple's ticket prices rised. Can you believe that? Well everyone, I'm Adila. I'm student of English Department Education University of Ibnu Khaldun Bogor. Now I'm in the 4th semester. So today in this video, I'm gonna talking about the Borobudur Temple's ticket prices, which is the latest news update information in Indonesia. And yeah, this is my midterm test from my lecturer, Mrs. Annie. Hello, Mrs. Annie. Hopefully, you always healthy and happy. Amin. So, without further ado, let's get started. Well, everyone, do you know Indonesia's Borobudur Temple's ticket prices rise? Is it a conservation or for commercialization? As Indonesian people, we all know that Borobudur Temple is one of the cultural heritage that Indonesia has because it has a lot of story and its own meaning. Also, of course, Borobudur Temple is one of the most beautiful temples in Indonesia. So that's why so many Indonesian citizens want to visit the Borobudur Temple. Even for foreign tourists, which is visitors from outside of Indonesia's country. They really want to go to Indonesia just to see the historical heritage of the Buddhist kingdom. You know what, everyone? The Borobudur Temple is crowned as the largest Buddhist temple in the world. So that's why so many foreign tourists want to visit and enter this historic temple. But everyone, recently the Indonesian government and the president director of the Borobudur Temple Tourism Park will increase the ticket prices for the Borobudur Temple to 750,000 rupees for domestic tourists, and it's gonna be 100 United States dollars will be charged for international tourists or foreign tourists. Certainly, everyone, there are so many Indonesian citizens asking about the reason for the Borobudur Temple's ticket. They ask what was the reason actually for the government so that the ticket price for the Borobudur Temple had a very high price increase. According to the main director of PT Aviasi Wisata Indonesia Persero in Journey, Doni Oskaria said that the entrance ticket to Borobudur Temple hadn't changed at all. Don't be mistaken with Borobudur entrance ticket. The entrance ticket will remain. It's still same, but we will change the ticket to go to the top of the temple in order to limit visitors, said Tony to Compass.com on Sunday, 6 June 2022. So everyone, it's still a good news, I think, for visitors who will enter to the top of the Borobudur Temple, or if you want to go to temple stupa area, it will be expensive, of course. For the entrance ticket, it costs 750,000 rupees for domestic tourists or Indonesian people, but for international tourists, like what I'm saying previously, it's gonna be cost 100 United States dollars. Meanwhile, everyone, the price for regular tickets to enter the Borobudur Temple's area, it's not going to the top of the temple, or you're not going to the go to the temple stupa area. It's still same. It just costs 50,000 rupees for local, and it's gonna charge $25 for foreign tourists. Of course, I have a good news for Indonesian students. You're gonna get special access. If you are students in Indonesia and you want to go to the top of the Borobudur Temple, or you want to go to stupa area, it just costs 5,000 rupees. And I know it's really amazing, right? And of course, it's for educational purposes. where Indonesian students are required to know the history of their own country. Like this Borobudur Temple, it's considering that students are the next generation of the nation who will preserve and maintain the Borobudur Temple in the future. Meanwhile, everyone, on the other side, a member of the PDIP faction, or the House of Representative of Indonesia's Republic, Dedi Yafri Sitorus, inquired the reason behind the plan of Indonesia's government to increase the ticket for entrance go to the top of Borobudur Temple or in Stupa area for local and international tourists. For me, it doesn't make sense at all. The reason for conservation is more for commercialization, said Dedi via the media in Jakarta on Monday, 6 June 2022. So here, I think there are two very contradictory opinions, of course, between the Indonesian government and one of the political parties members in Indonesia. Dedi speculates that Luhut, coordinating minister for maritime affairs and investment, is only doing a commercialization over for conservation because the ticket price is too expensive for the Indonesian people. The government in Indonesia don't think about the poor Indonesian citizens who want to enter the temple area. However, everyone, the coordinating minister for maritime affairs and investment, Luhut Binsar Panjaitan, immediately denied this issue. Luhut denied this issue. Luhut said Borobudur Temple as a UNESCO World Cultural Heritage Site and it's important to be given special attention to preserve the archipelago's historical and cultural wealth of the archipelago. Sunday, 5 June 2022. And everyone, in addition to maintaining the Borobudur Temple building, the reason for the increase in tickets is also to limit visitors. Considering that too many visitors keep coming every holiday, weekend, and of course it's making the old building even more damaged because it cannot withstand the burden of the large number of visitors. So there are so many temple buildings are damaged and must be repaired in order to maintain the preservation and culture of Indonesia, so that this one, the Candi Borobudur, is not damaged. According to Luhut, from now on, the capacity of tourists who will set a quota that is allowed to climb to the top of the temple of Borobudur or in Stupa area, only 1,200 people per day. So I think we can see that Borobudur Temple has various vulnerabilities and of course threats, starting from natural threats in the form of weathering and land subsidence due to climate change, also from the ignorant action of the visitors themselves. The Borobudur Temple has weathering and land subsidence, so that everyone, this temple needed conservation of building repairs, and it should set quota only 1,200 people per day to climb to the top of the Borobudur Temple or to go to Stupa area. Of course, everyone, the determination of the quota aims to protect the Borobudur Temple building itself and its for conservation in order to preserve the historical and cultural wealth of the archipelago, and of course it's for less for green tourism area. In addition to operating electric buses for tour guides, so there are also online motorcycle taxi drivers around the Borobudur area, and all of their fleets using electric vehicles, electric charging stations in Borobudur and Prambanan areas have also been built and inaugurated. Well, everyone, that's all. That's all about the reason why Indonesia's government doing increased the ticket prices for entrance Borobudur Temple. Everyone, you already know, right? The reason why the Indonesian government has increased the price of admission to go to the top of the Borobudur temple or the stupa area, of course, is to protect one of Indonesia's cultural heritage itself. Considering that Borobudur temple is the most beautiful temple and the largest Buddhist temple in Indonesia, and I think it must be preserved so that it can still be an asset pride of the Indonesian state in the future. Because everyone, I think the Borobudur temples is really beautiful, and I know Indonesia citizens really proud for having this temple in their country. But please remember, everyone, only tourists who will enter to the top of the Borobudur temple, or if you want to go to the temple stupa area, of course it will be more expensive for the entrance ticket. It's gonna cost 750,000 rupees if you just want to go to the top of the Borobudur temple or temple stupa area. For domestic tourists, of course, for Indonesian people, but for Indonesian tourists, like what I'm saying previously, it's gonna be charged $100. Meanwhile, everyone, the price for regular tickets to enter the Borobudur temple area are not going to the top of, or you're not gonna go to the temple stupa area. It's still same. It just costs 50,000 rupees for local tourists or Indonesian people, and it's gonna charge $25 for foreign tourists. And please notice that if you are students and you want to go to the top of Borobudur temple, it just costs 5,000 rupiah, which is it's a very cheap. So everyone, that's it. That's all from me about the latest and hot news in Indonesia. Because right now in Indonesia, it's be the hottest news in Indonesia, which is very up to date, because we know it's really shocking Indonesian people, although this is just a plan from Indonesia's government, but I think it's look like the government in Indonesia is serious, and they will make this issue come true. Of course, everyone, it's really shocking for me actually, because I was never thought Indonesia government there have a plan. They're gonna increase the ticket entrance for the Borobudur temple stupa area, and it's gonna be more expensive until 750,000 rupees for domestic local. Meanwhile, for international tourists, it costs 100 United States dollar. Of course, it's really expensive for me. So everyone, that's all about the hottest news information in Indonesia right now. So please stay tuned for further news information in Indonesia. Well, everyone, however, what's the government in Indonesia do for this issue about the Borobudur temple's ticket got increased prices? I hope there always a silver lining for Indonesian people, hopefully. And as I say, thank you very much for your kind attention. I'm Adila Zahara. I do apologize for my mistake that I do, and as I say, wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.